Let's rock, baby.
Welcome to Devil May Cry. If you haven't noticed already, this game is very old. Releasing in 2001, the game takes after the old Resident Evil games since it was actually made from a scrapped version of Resident Evil 4, which I'm glad didn't happen because Resident Evil 4 is a great game, and I'd be pretty sad if it didn't exist. The game starts off with a brief history of Dante's father and how good of a warrior he was. Trish comes down, looking like she just came straight out of the Matrix.
Devil May Cry.
Roll credits.
Sorry, mister. Whoa, slow down, babe.
That is a completely normal reaction to that.
Well, well, what do we have here? Nature calls? It's in the back.
What?
Eventually, I should hit the jackpot sooner or later.
The plot of this game is fairly basic. Trish comes to Dante to ask him to do a job, then shocks him for a little bit, then becomes Kiryu.
Sword. Time to go to work, guys.
All for Dante to beat her in the end and still accept the job, even after she tried to kill him.
Child, I had powers.
I don't know, I guess Dante just likes his women like that.
What strength?
Anyway, the job is to go to this island and kill the demon king that lives there. Yep, that's it. That's the plot. That's the job. But hey, it's a really good motivation. I mean, look at all the things that use it today.
Come on, let's go.
This is like the last time you see Trish for a good portion of the game. Like Capcom's predecessor, Devil May Cry adopted the fixed camera angle system. At first, I thought this would be refreshing to play as, but since it's been a while since I played a game like this, I quickly remembered there's a reason why most games don't use this anymore. So now the game begins. You first get sealed away inside the castle where you will spend the entire game, minus a couple parts, but they're still on property. Also, the starting area looks oddly familiar. Red orbs are the currency in this game, it's how you level up and buy items. And like the Resident Evil series, this game has a lot of puzzles, most of which involve getting a key. The way you can acquire new power-ups and also buy items is through the statue. Also, you can do it at the end of missions, or the beginning of missions. It took me far too long to figure out how to get out of the first room. I had no idea that I needed to just pay 45 orbs to get out. It's pretty windy out there. I was able to find the first of many keys in this game, which led into my first experience with the combat. I then started to realize just how important a good camera is when you're in a fighting game like this. The camera angles switching back and forth, just stepping over a certain barrier in the room, really throws you off when you're trying to do combos. It's playable, it just does not feel the greatest compared to being able to control your own camera. Does Dante not know how to use a ladder? Oh. Oh. I was stupid and didn't realize that this door required the key. Even though it tells you, I don't know. I thought this was like Dark Souls, that I had to open it from the other side. There are these little sigils everywhere that you can just beat the crap out of to activate them by doing enough damage. I thought this was a pretty cool mechanic at first. And then a certain boss comes up later on that really made me hate this. After defeating some more enemies, mission done. And after all that, I end up with a C? Really? Awesome.
Place, 'cause I want you to know that I'm ready to go. Heartbeat, my heartbeat.
After inspecting a painting, Dante acquires a new and improved sword over his first one. This one now has lightning powers. Why am I reading this? Okay. I then found a shotgun in the game by accident. I had no idea it was there. As you can see, I completely missed it. I just like breaking things. What? But what? The way you solve puzzles in the game is pretty satisfying, how all the levels interconnect and loop back into each other. It reminds me of a certain series. Going back to the library, I'm able to encounter a new enemy, which happens to be a flying ghost that uses a pair of scissors to attack you. The game once again teases me with more puzzles that I will have to solve later. And Dante, once again, gets electrocuted and thrown into the water. Well, when I first fell down here, I thought the game was going to have me do a 2D water section, but in actuality, I just had to kill a bunch of giant floating skulls. Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. I went back inside and grabbed the lion tablet, only to be greeted by the first boss of the game, Phantom.
What a big surprise. I hope for your sake you got something inside that big body of yours.
He's not too hard of a boss. Once you realize you just jump on top of him over and over again to hit his weak spot. Next I had to fight Shadow as a mini-boss. The fella looked a lot better in Devil May Cry 5. This fight was a pretty easy one. Once I realized I just had to shoot him over and over again with a shotgun. He went down. Not too difficult. Also, I don't know how I just killed him there. Like, I blew up, and so did he. I don't know. Wow, this game even has its own Sunlight Covenant. A lot of this game's puzzles are really similar. Find a key, unlock door, repeat. But the way you get a key is sometimes pretty cool. Like this example here. Come up and grab the sword, which is actually a key. The key is then used on the statue in the bedroom, and causes this scene to happen. This is the next major boss of the game, Nilo Angelo, I think that's how you pronounce that. The fella flies out of the window and does some nice Final Fantasy poses on top of the building. This fight wasn't too bad. Using the devil trigger against him and also the gun helped a lot. The only really annoying thing was that he kept blocking a lot of attacks, but again, not too bad. Upon defeating him, he notices Dante's pendant around his neck, and then just becomes a nice, massive ball of energy and disappears. The ball that was grabbed before fighting him is used to open this door, which leads to the next level. But what's funny about this level is that is all you do. It only took me 1 minute and 45 seconds to beat this level. I don't know why they did that. The next mission has you carrying an item that will continuously hurt you until you bring it to the proper location, which I couldn't figure out because I'm a dumbass. So I ended up dying. Turns out, it was in the room with the Sun Bros Covenant all along. Here's where the game starts to get a little bit annoying. Fighting repeated bosses. As you can see, Phantom's back again. He was not too bad, but this did end up happening to me. No! What? After suffering that heartbreaking defeat, I killed him next try, and you are rewarded with a beautiful cutscene of his death.
Sweet dreams.
One thing I think is great in this game is the weapon variety, and that the weapons are actually useful. When I played through Devil May Cry 5 recently, I rarely used any of the guns because they did no damage, but in Devil May Cry 1, each one serves a purpose and actually delivers some pretty good damage. One good example of this is the grenade launcher. What? I never thought that I would have seen this in this game, but there it is. It does have a slow rate of fire, but it is able to do some pretty good damage. The next puzzle requires you to place a trident in the slot and make a beeline for the gate that it opens. So I first tried to blow up the gate after using the trident, but that didn't work. But then I figured out I just need to make it as fast to the door as possible before it closes again. Wow. That is true. Let me take a guess. A shield with blue light. Wow. It's still shut from the other side. Okay. It is a Souls-like. This next section pissed me off so much. People think Only Up is hard. At least Only Up doesn't have a fixed camera. What? What? No! Oh my god! I panicked. No! Why did I double tap? No! Oh. Oh. When I finally made it to the top, I was rewarded with Ifrit, a gauntlet weapon that wields fire. After this, it's time for another boss battle. This time with Griffin, a giant bird that uses lightning. Also from Devil May Cry 5, but he's a lot bigger in this game. This is where I learned that the grenade launcher can do some wondrous things against him. The combo of Ifrit and the grenade launcher are great to kick some ass with. I just wish that guns were more important in Devil May Cry 5. But hey, maybe they're more important in the other games. I don't know, I haven't played them yet. Also, wow, you can break barrels in this game? Souls-like? At this point, I was able to unlock the aerial ability for the Alistar, which lets you rain down lightning on enemies. And as you can see here, I learned that this is really strong. Nilo Angelo is back again for round 2. After another close fight with him, he goes down and becomes a big ball of energy again. Where does he go? The next level is on a pirate ship, and yeah, I don't know why they did this, don't ask me. I feel like they just had an asset for this lying around and decided that they needed to use it for something. But this does lead to some of the worst water level mechanics I think I have ever seen in a video game. Like, why not just do what happened earlier with Dante killing the big floating skulls underwater? Nope, we'll make it first person with garbage controls, and the only weapon is a needle gun. Anyways, once Dante gets to the top of the ship, some Goonies shit happens. This is like some Goonies shit. And we have another repeated boss fight with Griffin. Surprisingly enough, the electric shock ability that I talked about earlier does some massive damage against Griffin and absolutely melts his health. Which is funny because he himself uses lightning. Dante goes and steals some stuff from the captain's quarters, and some more Goonies shit happens. And this really is some Goonies shit. Oh, don't make me play underwater. Oh my god. Oh no. More underwater combat. Yay! Yay! I had a bit of a brain fart here and kind of forgot that if I just shoot these guys that they die easily. Oh boy, more platforming, which leads to another key, which opens another door. Have you guys figured the formula out for this game yet? It really is just the fixed camera angle. It makes it so much worse than it needs to be. Also, I couldn't afford to buy the double jump. That probably also would have helped, but I fight Big Bird one last time. He gets crushed by a pillar. Fried by Mundus. Oh hey, it's Trish again. See, it took about halfway through the game.
You beat him.
Dante then restates his mission, because this time,
It took the life of my mother, my brother, Shirley.
it's personal.
In the name of my father, I will kill Mundus.
The next boss is Nightmare, and let me just say, they named this boss that for a reason. I don't think I can even state how much I absolutely hate this boss. I died so many times to this boss. You have to keep hitting the sigil on the wall in order to keep him from becoming goo, where he can eat you and take you to another dimension to fight another boss, where you then have to come back and continue to fight him. This fight sucks because when he's not in sludge form, he just blocks your view the entire time to a point where you cannot even see what you are doing. And the only damage that you can do to him is on the two spheres that pop out of his back. Does this sound annoying enough yet? Cause it should. At least I only have to fight him once though, right? Right? After beating Nightmare, Dante gets to be like Mario and jump into some paintings. There's a nice little puzzle here that requires you to parry the fireball back to slay the dragon. I thought it was a good change up from just going to a point and grabbing a key. But after you do this, you have to go to a point and grab a key, so... For the third and final time, Dante fights Nilo Angelo, who, after all this time, turns out to be Virgil, whom I tried to cheese, but messed up horribly and died. What? After beating him legitly next time, he finally explodes into a massive ball of energy. He drops his pendant as he dies. The two brothers' pendants combine and mix with the sword to create the Sword of Sparta. Fuck me. Fuck. After beating Nightmare a second time, I don't have to do that again, right? The portal to the underworld has opened. I'm actually gonna end it all. I swear. Not only do you have to fight Nightmare again, you also have to withstand attacks from Trish. Because surprise, surprise, she's a bad guy.
Trish!
What are you doing? Oh my god. Oh. Also, once you kill Nightmare, you have to kill Nightmare again because it gains another ball that needs to be hit. And this ball fires lasers and missiles at you while you are trying to destroy it. How? How How are you supposed to hit it? How are you supposed to hit it? What? This fight took me about an hour to do, which wouldn't be too bad if you could just restart right at the door of the boss fight. But no! You have to start at the beginning of the level, which is worse on some fights than others. Thankfully, this one only has one room before it, but it still took even more time than just starting at the boss room.
Yes!
After finally beating Nightmare, Dante goes and saves Trish, even though she tried to kill him.
Dante, why did you save my life?
I don't know! Okay, fuck these noodle things. Whoever added these is a psychopath. Smacking the button over here turns on the heart. Yeah, that's a strange sentence. Opens the gate and leads to the final boss of the game. You guessed it. The Demon King himself, Mundus. He has Trish plastered on the wall like Jesus.
Trish! You!
Dante!
He tries to kill Dante, but Trish takes the bullet.
Trish! No!
What is the matter? It is time to end your pitiful life.
Dante now gains some new powers from his rage and challenges Mundus. Where reveals he created Trish. Dante unlocks his new form. I will give this fight props for being something different, it being more of a bullet hell than the traditional other fights of the game. I appreciated that. The fight wasn't too bad, and I was able to take Mundus down to the second phase. The second phase of the fight takes place on equal footing, so just kind of wail on his weak spots when the platforms for the lava come up. I then decided to use the invincible star that I've had for the entire game, and just walk into the lava and beat his ass. He explodes. Then Dante goes back to Trish to deliver one of the greatest lines in video game history.
My mother risked her life for me. And now you, too. I should have saved you. I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light!
Dante tries to escape the castle before it blows up, but ends up falling into a pit back to the sewers. Mundus makes his way back one more time. Even though he got eviscerated, but somehow he's back. I don't know. Mundus' new form is pretty sweet. Trish somehow comes back from the dead
Dante, use my power!
and lends Dante her power in order to defeat Mundus. By putting the power into the pistols, Dante's able to do some damage to Mundus once he charges up his devil trigger meter.
It looks like we have a winner.
Jackpot.
And put an end to the boss once and for all. I feel like Freud would have a lot to say about this right now.
Trish, devils never cry.
That's the wrong line.
Tears. Tears are a gift only humans have.
So instead of a jet ski being there for their escape, like Resident Evil 4,
Are you ready?
they have a biplane.
Yes.
And of course, because it's able to survive falling all the way down into the sewers and still work.
Let's rock.
I don't know if I was just bad or
How do I control
this is just
thing?
actually really hard,
Oh my
but
God.
leaving this in the plane was a pain. I hit like every single obstacle on the way out, but it didn't really matter because it didn't do a lot of damage. Well, Ashley and Leon, I mean Dante and Trish make it out alive and live to see another day. They make it back to the shop
Devil never cry.
and change the name.
Yes. 5 minutes.
More than enough.
If you made it this far in the video, I greatly appreciate you. You could consider dropping a like and subscribe. I didn't hate this game by any means. I just kind of wish that some things in it were a little better, but beggars can't be choosers. If it didn't have the repeated bosses or the wonky camera, I'd say it'd be a fantastic game. 6 out of 10. You can let me know in the comments section below if you would like to see maybe a Devil May Cry 2 playthrough, though I have heard that game is not very good, but it could be interesting. Thanks again for watching, and peace.